Hi guys and welcome to Thrustzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What is in front of you is the brand new Honda Elevate that we've just driven, and this is going to be a very hot SUV in the mid-size SUV segment because this is something that we've been waiting for quite some time. Something from Honda. The manufacturers that have given us a fantastic set of cars till date, which now includes the Amaze and the City. This is based on the Honda City platform, and as you can see, this is clearly a full fat SUV. The front end design, the full front flat design, is a iconic way of doing SUVs, and Honda has done that. A lot of other SUVs in this segment don't do that. They go the crossover way, but at least the front end is spot on. It's got these chunky, very nice LED headlamps here. The LED brows look great. You've got LED high beam and low beam. You've got this really nice grille, which I really like personally, and you've got a nice bumper with skid plates on offer, a big fat chrome strip as always in true Honda tradition, and at the side you can see this is a tall SUV. It doesn't look big in pictures and video, but in real life it does look quite big. And you've got these huge wheels here on offer as well. They are similar to what we've seen on other Honda vehicles, and you've got the dual tone color on this version. And at the back again, it looks really nice, very futuristic, very muscular indeed. Nice detailing on the tail lamps as well, and that is what the Honda is all about. You've got a washer here nicely integrated. You've got reversing parking sensors and camera at the back. Surprisingly, no front sensors for the Elevate here this time around. It does miss out on certain features on the inside and outside, which I'll explain as the reviews go ahead. And yeah, we think this is a very good design. This color looks really nice, and it's a job really well done. Once the design impresses you, you will be intrigued to go on the inside, check how it's to drive, and we've done that for you. So let's begin and go inside and see what the Elevate is all about. So this is the interior of the Honda Elevate in a real life condition, and as you can see, it's a very sophisticated looking cabin at first sight. You've got the tan color seats and tan color on the dashboard as well as lower down there. A special mention for these extremely supportive seats. They have come from the City. They have this extra padding on the shoulders, and the lower part also has been beefed up to make sure that you have a very comfortable drive. We've almost driven 150 kilometers now, and we find these seats really good. There's no doubting that. But these seats, no power, no ventilation surprisingly, but you get start stop, lane watch is here, of course ADAS features are here, and you've got almost 20 plus ADAS features on offer. The steering wheel looks really nice, lifted from the City, looks really nice. The TFT screen from Honda City is also here. You can control everything via from here. You've got a tons of options and information on offer here, which looks fantastic. The AC controls look really nice, and I'm particularly liking this new touchscreen. It looks really nice, very sophisticated, really well done in typical Honda fashion. And as you can see, the build quality also is great on the inside. Everything feels really nice. The interior is consistent with its quality, with its textures and its plastic, so that also lends it a typical Honda cabin, and something that is always really well done. Those are the charging points, wireless charger, cup holder, some space here as well. Armrest of course isn't adjustable, but you've got some space to keep some stuff here. Glove box is pretty big, no illumination or chill though. You've got a fantastic frameless IRVM, which is truly automatic. A sunroof which is slightly larger than most of its rivals. Of course, it's not a panoramic, but this feels definitely much wider and longer than some of its rivals. You've got a nice door pad here, soft touch here and here, just elevate the cabin experience altogether. And of course, I've shown you the instrument cluster. The steering looks really nice. This is the touchscreen. The fonts, the colors, the graphics, the feedback, the touch, everything works really well on this touchscreen here. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. The AC seems to be working really well in the hot conditions that we have right now. At the same time, the weather is also not that bad, and yeah, The adjustability for seat belt is not here. These seats are only adjustable as well. 360-degree camera is a missing. Power and ventilated seats I think is missing. Apart from that, there is no anything else that is missing on this car. We don't feel anything else is missing. In fact, the sound system is also good on the interior, and of course it could have been a tad better. Overall, the practicality, the quality, the consistency that the Honda Elevate offers is truly really good. And let's go at the back now, where we will see my own driving position will reveal that the leg room is fantastic, the knee room is brilliant. You've got door pockets here, you've got some space to keep some stuff here as well. You've got speakers mounted here. The sunroof is lending a decent bit of light. The glass area of course is spectacularly large, and you've got an armrest with no ring here to pull it off, but cup and can holders which stays up put as well. It doesn't touch down the seat, so that's really impressive. You've got AC vents here which work really well. There's no climate control per se. You've got a 12-volt charging socket, so that will help you charge multiple points or multiple items together. And again, these seats offer fantastic lower back support. Under thigh support is good, could have been better. Headroom also is good enough. It's not too large or not too short. And these seats are also really well. We had somebody sitting here most of the time and none of them complained, so it is a very comfortable cabin at the back as well. Let me now show you what the boot is like. And that is the boot. This is a segment best 489 liters of space. As you can see, all of this stuff is kept a little bit haphazardly, and there is still some space to keep some stuff. And overall the storage is pretty impressive. The space is quite impressive. Let's jump to the driving part now. Finally driving the Honda Elevate here in Udaipur. We've gone through a lot of roads, the bad roads, the good roads, the twisty roads, twisty bad roads, and we are now on the spectacular highway, which is obviously connects us from Udaipur to Bombay again. And I'm really tempted to take it to Bombay because this car is just absolutely surreal in this segment when it comes to many things. Let's get done with the engine part first. The 1.5 iVTEC motor we are all familiar with time and again. It makes 21 PS of power and 145 Newton meters of torque. Made it to a new 6-speed manual gearbox which has the first 2 gear ratios changed, and rest of it is pretty much similar to what it has been before. But of course I'm sure the gear ratios have changed for the Elevate, because I didn't expect the engine to be this good on an SUV which is heavier, taller, and all of that, which makes which puts a lot of stress on the engine. This engine is very smooth. It is refined, and it's a tall geared engine. It makes more power after 4,500-5,000 RPM. The VTEC character is there, but since it's pulling a lot of weight, it doesn't feel that exciting. Udaipur's highway here has a lot of elevation, and in certain aspects I had 3 to 4 people on board. As you can see, I'm slowing down in the middle of the highway because the trucks can't go ahead, and in this scenario with 3 to 4 people on board, I had to pretty much redline the car and realize that there is going to be a lot of work that will be done by the driver to make sure that on elevations at ghats this engine will need a lot of tweaking and a lot of gear shifts and all of that. But since the gearbox is very light, the clutch is very light, the steering is also very good, so what happens is that the fatigue is not going to set in, and that's the most important part. It's always been the case with the any other Honda vehicle, and what that does is that makes driving a little bit more let's say engaging, but not very high on fatigue. So that's the best part. The steering, good feedback, could have been better, but it is light when you need it. It gets heavier on the highway to a certain extent. Again, there could have been more improvement on that aspect, because I am doing 70 kilometers an hour, and I think the steering could have used with more weight. But it's precise, most importantly, and that's what makes the Elevate a very good SUV when it comes to confidence while driving. The other aspect, of course, is the very keen aspect that I'm want to talk about is the suspension. I have never experienced an SUV of this segment to ride completely flat and be comfortable at the same time. And when I want it to be, it's sporty. When I want it to be very comfortable, it is doing all of that together really well. The suspension is extremely mature. It's really well tuned. And I know I've said that for the Kushaq and the Taigun as well. But those cars don't have that dual nature. They always feel sporty. This car has that dual nature where it can feel sporty when you want it, when you're pushing it hard. It can feel comfortable when you want it. So that subtle difference on how manufacturers engineer their cars is present here. So kudos to Honda for getting the Elevate so right. Everybody was impressed in the car how good it is when it comes to suspension and the ride quality, the stability at very high speeds. We were cruising at 120, and somebody said that are we doing 80? So that is the kind of comfort that you're going to get from the passengers as well as the driver and the front passenger. All of it is also down to the comfortable seats that are on offer, that are a direct lift from the city. Those seats were really good. These seats are also really good. The padding on the shoulder side, you can see, is actually quite brilliant. And the fourth and most important part, and do not take this for granted, is the driving position, the view outside the windshield here. It is just pinpoint precise. I can see the bonnet, both the sides, the character lines. It is just a pure SUV feel. You don't even get this on a 30 or 40 lakh rupee SUV anymore. Honda knows to do, really knows how to get the ergonomics right, the view outside the cabin right. It is just pinpoint precise. It's absolutely really well done. The A-pillar is, doesn't intrude much, and the driving seat position also matters. So that is also a really good thing that Honda has gotten just right. And you're just going to enjoy driving the Elevate in a very smooth, calm and relaxing manner, because that's how it's meant to be. It is an engine which is naturally aspirated. It needs a lot of work to be done, and when you will do that, you will find it engaging and you will find it rewarding. But it's not as effortless as a turbo engine, a turbo petrol or a turbo diesel, and that is also going to be missed. Meanwhile, Honda does say that they have created an urban freestyler here, but they've also worked on the long drive comfort. People who are, still will take out this car, who are, like sedate drivers, who don't, really push the car hard. They just want to do this, what I'm doing right now, 70 kilometers, 80 kilometers an hour on the highway at 100, and just settle down in a cruise. And that's what it will do really, really well. This car just rides so beautifully over bad roads, good roads, twisty bad roads, straight bad roads. You just name it, it glides over everything. The engine NVH inside the cabin has always been a bit of a down point for Honda. They worked on it quite hard, but it's still present to a certain extent, because we are really noticing that once you have some music on, or you're talking to your friends, family, you won't realize that. So you will find this car really, really comfortable. That is the absolute simplicity and comfort that this car is going to offer. No car in this segment does, because the way both things are being tuned, it is simple and it is comfortable. You don't get a simple ride in the other rivals such as the Creta or the Seltos or the Taigun or the Kushaq or even the Aster per se. This thing is just a pure Honda, and that is something truly very special. Every time a new product comes in, Honda just amazes us with that aspect. Like, how do they get it so right all the time? It feels like a proper Honda, and that is what is really important, and they've gotten that right. The excitement could have been higher. This segment has a lot of strong players with very exciting engines. That is going to be missed for now. The hybrid also seems to be missing. We think, we don't know when it's going to come. Diesels are clearly out. But then again, despite all of that, I think people, Honda loyalists and Honda, fans will really appreciate this SUV because it is a mid-size SUV. It's a SUV based on the city, and that will impress a lot of people who want to upgrade to a Honda SUV. They've been waiting for quite some time. They picked something else, but they've been waiting for a Honda SUV. They can get into this and realize that their experiences are truly elevated. You sit on an elevated position, the drive experience is elevated. So I guess that's where the name comes from at Honda. And yeah, thumbs up when it comes to driving. What's our verdict? Let's find out. So what is my review on the Honda Elevate then? My verdict, the final piece after getting the exterior, the interior and the driving part. Well, I think the design is great. The quality on the inside is good, could have been better. But the interior look is fantastic. You got a very nice set of features. The cabin looks very Honda, very classy indeed. The driving position deserves an award of its own. The seats are fabulous, comfortable at the front and at the back. It's a no nonsense, very simple but highly well engineered car in its class. Of course, the engine is very basic. You don't get turbo petrols, but this engine also is very rev happy. So you'll enjoy when you're really driving it, and you will be making sure that you do drive it spiritedly, because it has that character. It wants you to push it harder, because most of the time it feels very simple. When you push it hard on the ghats, on twisty roads, you'll realize that the handling is downright brilliant. The comfort is absolutely brilliant. We don't have the price right now. It will come almost a month later. That should decide whether this SUV here comes together as a package or not. But as a product, this is really good. You've got great space, great comfort, great design. This design, I'm pretty sure it's going to age well with a lot of people, and we can't wait to spend more time with this car. I think that will happen only when the prices come out. We'll get you a comparison with one of his SUVs or its peers in the segment. And yeah, the Honda Elevate has our thumbs up. Of course, it doesn't have a lot of features. That is what everybody is going to tell you. But then again, nobody does overboard features like some people do. And despite that, the overall packaging and the product seems to be spot on, and that is what Honda fans and Honda loyalists and Honda look forward to. And they've delivered that, and this should attract a lot of buyers. And if you're looking for a no nonsense, very simple, very clean SUV with a lot of quality, comfort and features, which is in certain ways class leading, you should definitely check out the Honda Elevate. Thank you so much for watching. Follow us on our website and social media for everyday updates. Until then, goodbye.